Hey everybody, it's Lindsay with A Children's House for the Soul, a community for those with skin conditions, and I wanted to talk about fear this week for our family Bible blessing devotional time. Today might be a little short, but hopefully very sweet. Because I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about fear or being afraid. So there's a lot going on right now. And I think it's safe to say, and it's just honest to say, that there's a lot to be afraid of. Afraid that this virus is continuing to get out of hand, being afraid that life will never go back to normal, being afraid for the people that we love and wanting them to stay healthy and safe. I think it's safe to say there's a lot of fear going around, and the fear might be even more contagious than the virus. And so I wanted to spend some time talking about that. You know, fear on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing. It moves our body to fight or flight. It helps us make, hopefully, decisions that are wise. Fear can produce caution in us, which can keep us from trying things that maybe we shouldn't have tried to do in the first place. It's good to have a little bit of self-preservation, a little bit of grit to help us recognize when things are maybe too dangerous. But one thing, even though we know that God kind of created us to need Him and to be a little bit afraid of things that aren't safe for us, we also can tell that God didn't want us to be afraid of the circumstances or feel like that our circumstances or the negative, scary things in our life are bigger than He is. So I did a quick look, and I bet that this isn't all of them, but right away I found 40 verses right away in the Bible that were about being afraid or God commanding that we don't fear, or promising, basically more than any of that, promising that we didn't have anything to be afraid of. And I think the reason God taught us to be cautious and gave us wisdom and made it so that our bodies reacted to things that make us fearful were to keep us safe. But I also think it was to draw us nearer to Him, to know that there is nothing in the world, no virus, no circumstance, no situation that's out of His control. None of us know why that God is allowing these circumstances for the virus, but we do know, and maybe it's not, we don't know why God is allowing these circumstances, but we know that He will use it ultimately for His good. The Bible promises that everything can be used to glorify God, and that He is there and we don't have to be afraid. Now, it still means we have to be cautious and wise, but we don't have to be fearful because the overall circumstances He is in control of. Thank heavens. I'm glad I'm not in charge. But so I wanted to read, like I said, there is a lot of verses on fear, but I wanted to read my favorite that I've been using this year to help me. This was my verse for the year before any of this happened, which is pretty comforting to think about. So it's from Isaiah 41. It says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you with my victorious right hand." So even though everything around us seems wild and crazy and out of control, and like our circumstances will never go back to the way they were before, one thing we can be sure of is that God is ultimately in control. Thank you for spending this time with me today on our Bible and devotional. Remember that we have lots of different videos and resources, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And we at A Children's House for the Soul love all kids and all families, but especially want to create a community for any of those impacted by chronic skin conditions or birthmarks, no matter their belief system, religion, or creed. So even though we did a little Bible study this morning, we have lots more things to offer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe, and we hope you see you next time.